Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace. Welcome to the 2020 yearly shop tour. I am David Picciuto and I have a very unusual wood shop, as you can probably see from the backdrop here. My shop is not like yours. This is not about bragging, and this is not suggesting that you should get the same tools as me. This is for those who are curious. I tend to buy tools that allow me to work faster, safer, and have the best dust collection. Tools that will probably outlive me, which means the tools that I have can be somewhat expensive. In woodworking, there are at least 4 ways to make every cut and joint. So you buy the tools that fit your desires and budget, and I'll buy the tools that fit mine. And yes, I do buy my own tools. I'm not sponsored by any of the tool companies. That means I get to say whatever I want and remove logos whenever I want. This is my shop. I get to do what I want here. Although I love Adam Savage, I am not Adam Savage. I don't have a love affair with my tools. I have no feelings towards them whatsoever. I love the design of the projects and I love the appreciation of the projects. The tools are just tools. They allow me to get from A to B. This is my shop. This is a 2-car garage that's basically been turned into a video set. It is 23 feet by 27 feet. The unusual thing is we are on carpet and we have a drop ceiling. Those are things you just don't see in a wood shop too much, but it does help with the sound for video, and it's also just easier on the ears when you're running tools. The drywall is a super thick drywall and it's insulated with rock salt. We did this so we don't disturb the neighbors. The garage door where the cars would enter the space has been bolted shut, so from the outside it looks like a normal garage, but on the inside you have this. This is a storage wall here where we store all our stuff. We're going to talk about storage later on in the video. Yeah. This is the space. I can't see myself using any other table saw than this. This is a 3 horsepower professional cabinet saw. Really good saw. I purchased a saw stop for the old shop and then I gave that to my buddy, and Saw Stop gave me this one when I moved into here. This thing has some crazy technology. If it senses flesh, a brake stops the blade and then throws it underneath the table, all within a fraction of a second. This is the one tool that I recommend for everybody. I really do like this saw. Another straight cutting saw is this miter saw over here. Now, as far as miter saws go, this is on the higher end price wise, and that is because it's a fest tool, but it has the highest rated dust collection out of any miter saw. But this one is the sliding compound saw, so it not only chops, but it does the slidey thing. And then I have this on my miter saw station, so I have the little fence here, and then we can cut 8-foot boards on here all day. You can get by without a table saw or miter saw with a circular saw. It's a little bit more difficult to use because you don't have a fence system and you got to rig something up, but this is a great way to make straight cuts. This is a battery operated DeWalt one. I like the battery operated tools because you can take them anywhere and you're not fighting the cords. The next step up from this is a track saw. So it's basically a circular saw on steroids that runs on a track. You just throw this down on your plywood or whatever you're cutting, and then this plunges down and rides along the track, gives you a nice straight cut. This is the Festool something or other. It's battery operated and has a little dust bag. Not perfect dust collection, but fairly decent. This is messy. It's super crazy messy. Next up, saws that cut curves but can also cut straight cuts. The bandsaw. I actually have 2 bandsaws, which might seem a little excessive, but I have the big blade on here that I use for a lot of resawing. I don't typically cut curves with this, although you could. This is basically set up for taking large boards and then making them into thinner boards. And I have a resaw blade on there. This is the Laguna. We'll put it up on the screen. Really good saw. It's got dust collection up top here as well as down below. We're going to talk about dust collection at the end of the video. Then I have a second little bandsaw over here. And to save space, it's kind of behind the joiner over here, but I have a small blade, a 3/16" blade on there, and that's great for cutting curves and just kind of roughing things out when you need to. If you don't have the space or the budget for a benchtop bandsaw or a floor standing bandsaw, you can use a jigsaw saw. This will get you by for cutting curves, and you can also do straight edges with this, but normally the cut's going to be a little rough. I have this corded Bosch one that I've used for a long time, and then recently upgraded to the battery powered Festool one. It's super convenient to have everything run by batteries. Next up is the jointer and the planer. These two machines kind of work together. These are the two machines that I probably could get by without. You can buy milled lumber from your home center or a lumber distributor, or even have whoever your lumber dealer can plane and joint boards for you. This just gives me a lot more options. They're both Rikon something or other. I always tell myself, if I ever need more space in the shop, this is the first tool to go. I don't use it that much, but when I do use it, it comes in really handy, and it really does save me a lot of time. This Rikon planer has the helical head in there, so the boards that come out of there are glassy smooth. You don't even have to sand. And I went for the big one. This is the 240 volt, 220, 240?
Yeah, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
This is my lathe. This is the Jet. This is the Jet lathe. I don't know what the model number is. It'll be, all the links to all the tools will be in the description. It's a good lathe. I got the extension bed for it. I'm planning on doing more lathe stuff. The thing I don't like about it is the belts slip every once in a while, but that's probably my technique. I may upgrade to something bigger and beefier in the future. I want a head that rotates out so I can do the big bowls and stuff. Next up on the spinny things is, this is my brand new drill press. There's all kinds of crazy fancy technologies, and I've got a whole video on that. There'll be a link down below. We upgraded from the floor standing to a benchtop one, and this one has so many more features than the old floor standing drill press. And a drill press is it's a nice to have in the shop. It's not 100% necessary. You can get by with just a hand drill, but it's also, you can set up a fence, so you can do repeated things, you can do stops. It's easier with Forstner bits, and you can clamp materials down. A drill press is a very nice to have. But I also have the Festool drill, which I painted all the green red at one time, and yeah, the Festool people love that. It's really nice to have two drills, so you can drill with one and screw with the other. I don't have, what do you call that? Impact driver? Is that what that's called? I don't have an impact driver, and people get on my case about that, but maybe someday. So, more spinny things. This is my router. It is mounted into my miter saw station. I've got a whole video on putting a router in your router station, or any bench for that matter. But it's a Porter cable router, and then I got the Incra router lift. This thing, I really like this router lift. It's a little pricey. There's probably cheaper options out there. But it's really great for getting that bit to go up and down, and then it locks into position. Really nice. As far as routers go, you can also have handheld versions. You can get by without a router table and do it all handheld. There's advantages to a router table. You can have the fence, you can do repeated things. It's easier to use, and you're taking the piece to the tool instead of the tool to the piece, and there's advantages to both. As far as handheld routers, this is a plunge one. This is the Festool one. It hooks up to my existing dust collection. It's fancy. And then I also like this little palm router. A lot of times it's just nice to have something smaller, and you feel a little bit more in control with a palm router. The router is my least favorite tool to use in the shop. It's just scary. It's just this bit spinning at 2,000 miles per hour, just waiting to tear your hands apart. So be careful. That's all I got to say. So is that all the spinny things? I think that's all the. By far, sanding is my least favorite part of any project, and takes the longest, and it's just the most boring. So I've got a whole wide variety of sanding tools. This is my Harbor Freight disc sander. the oldest tool I have in the shop. And then the Ryobi belt sander. The second oldest tool in the shop is this Harbor Freight spindle sander. It's got different size spindles that you can throw on there for doing curves and stuff. And then this is the Supermax 16 to 32 drum sander. So you can feed your boards in here. It works like a planer. It's got a little spinny thing. You feed your boards through there and you can sand the board all at one time. This thing saves me so much time. But the sander that I use most, tool, big old, I don't know, 5 inch, is that 6? Size doesn't matter, Dan. I use this in nearly every single project. It has really good dust collection when it's on. And then you'll see me sanded here. My friends at KenCraft sell this stuff, and it's great for holding down boards. So you throw a board on there, and it's meant as a router pad. So you throw your board on there, and then you don't even have to clamp it down. You can run your router around there. But I typically use it more as a place to hold the board while sanding. Before we talk about clamps, storage, dust collection, and my digital tools, I would like to tell you about today's sponsor, and that is Squarespace. There's no reason for me to tell you about Squarespace in this corner. Once again, I'm showing off the new corner in the shop. My website, makesomething.com, as well as my podcast, makingitpodcast.com, are both Squarespace sites and have been for a long time. The reason for that is Squarespace is really easy to use. One of the really cool things about Squarespace is I can sell digital and physical items on my website. That means I can sell merch like t-shirts as well as downloadable plans. I know many of you are woodworkers and you're looking for clients. Squarespace is a great place to have a gallery of your work, and it's really easy to set up. Their templates are absolutely beautiful. You probably have social media sites like Instagram and Twitter, and you can bring those feeds right into your site so everything is nice, neat, and tidy. They also have 24/7 email support, and I've used that while moving my domain, which can be kind of tricky sometimes going from one provider to another. They were excellent. They helped me out with that, got me set up going right away. So head on over to Squarespace.com, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/makesomething for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you, Squarespace. Now let's get back to the shop tour. Be safe. Don't forget to be safe. If you're doing Squarespace reads, be safe. So now everything else. So we'll start with the Workbench. This is a Workbench I made a year ago. I love it. It's a little too big, so there's some changes that I would make with it in the future. The front I made flat, so I could clamp a board, a long board to there. I never use that feature. I would actually like to have this hang over a little bit so I can clamp to the top. It is what it is. So let's talk about what's in the drawers. I can open it this way, or I can open it this way. I'm not gonna have you come around because there ain't no reason, but I'll show you. This top drawer has all the, whatever these are called. You would think as a woodworker, I would know what these are called. And then all these little F-style clamps. These are all from Harbor Freight, and I've probably got 20, 30 of them. They work out really good. This is like $3, and I use these nonstop. These aluminum bar clamps. These are my favorite as far as the bigger clamps. They're really easy to use, and just, yeah, they're my favorite. Don't have anything else to say but that. Then below that, I have the Bessies. Now, I prefer the aluminum bar clamps over these because the Bessies are fussy. Also, I didn't take good care, and so glue's all on there, and it's kind of hard to use, whatever. But those clamps go in there as well as whatever these are called. So the bottom drawer is just kind of mix mash of everything. But mostly using the aluminum bar clamps and the little Harbor Freight F-style clamps. Let's just go through all my drawers. Screws. I started to 3D print these little boxes, and then I got bored of 3D printing. My drill bit drawer, my Make It Snappy Tools case. I use this quite a bit. Squares and screwdrivers, all in one drawer. I put the foam stuff in there, and I was gonna notch out places for each individual screwdriver. I got bored with that. My hammers I did actually start to do the foam thing, but then I got bored with it. So hammers and sharp things. And I love it. All my sharp things are just free flowing in there. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's my shop. And then below that is a little air compressor that I use. It's really, really good air compressor, but I think I'm gonna upgrade to something bigger. I use it for brad nails, and that's it. This little guy, it's my companion to my workbench. It's a little mobile guy. It's on wheels. I can just say it's on wheels, but I gotta show you, right? This is what I call my consumables drawer. Just things, you see that? Yeah, that was real. Below that this is my hand tool drawer, like planes. And below this is my pocket hole drawer, all of my Craig stuff. Let's back up a second. Many of you are already typing in the comments, click, 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 click. Adam Savage says drawers are where tools go to die. Tools just go in a drawer. So this is my power tool drawer. I know Adam Savage has a whole tape and glue rack that's just for Adam Savage. You should be more like Adam Savage. Adam Savage, if you're watching this, I do love you. I love you. I read your book. Dan and I went to go see you live. You were great. You're awesome. I love your philosophy. I love what you stand for. Yeah, I'm just not you. So let's talk about dust collection. I don't have a central dust collection collector. For instance, the miter saw has its own dust extractor down here, which also doubles as a shop vac to clean things up when I need to. Over here at my bench, I have this cute little guy, and it's perfect for the random orbit sander or the router that I'm hooking up to. This is a Dust Right wall mount dust collector, and I have, I think, 3 of these, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 of these around the shop. I don't hang them on the wall, I just have them on the floor. This one is hooked up to the bandsaw over here. Over here at my table saw, it has another one of these wall mounted on the floor dust collectors, except this one, it's actually shared with my planer, and I just have some glass gates to open and close that. All of these sanders are hooked up to this Festool dust extractor down here, and I just move this hose from machine to machine. I thought about building some sort of manifold system, and then I decided to actually make stuff. And then finally, the last wall-mounted dust collector that's on the floor is down here. This is hooked up to my router, and then sometimes used on the lathe. It's hidden. There's plenty of airflow in there, so if you're worried about that stuff, I wouldn't worry about it. Dust collection is really, really important to me because I want to be able to do this for a long time. So I tend to buy tools that have good built-in dust collection. And yeah, it's just that's just stuff that's important to me. We are on carpet for crazy reasons, and so we want to keep the carpet clean because Dan's the one who has to vacuum the carpet all the time, and he doesn't want to vacuum the carpet all the time. So digital tools. My favorite of the digital tools is the Glowforge. I really like working with lasers because it's quick, there's no mess. Mine exhausts right out the back of the garage, so it's really easy to work with. I do have a big old CNC. I have the X-Carve from Inventables, and pretty darn good machine. It's not super rigid, so you can't hog away a bunch of material at a time, but it's perfectly fine for what I want to do. I have a Shaper Origin here, which looks like a router, but it's a CNC that you hand hold. It's got a little screen on here, and I can't really explain it much more than that. Just look up Shaper Origin. It's a really cool machine. I haven't even plugged mine in yet. I will do soon. I'm going to do a whole video on this guy, but it is a futuristic handheld CNC router. And then this guy right here, this is my 3D printer. It is the Ultimaker 3. Even though I'm not the best 3D designer, artist, drawer,
golf ball whacker guy,
I've quickly made star knobs, which were really cool on this guy, and a few other little things. I do want to incorporate this more into future videos, especially as I get into art. There's some really cool 3D printing artists out there on Instagram, and it's really inspiring. I'm going to dive into the digital tools a lot more. I want to incorporate traditional tools and digital tools all into one, not to show off, not to make things easier, but it's because it's fun. My favorite part of any project is the design part and the appreciation part. The tools in the middle, that's just all part of the journey. So as I get it more into art, we're just gonna have fun and make all these tools talk to each other. That is my shop. Once again, I didn't show this off to brag or to say this is what you should have. Everybody's shop is unique and it's a very individual thing. I've read about people who have apartments that have turned their bedroom into a wood shop. A driveway can be a shop. Any place can be a shop. Get the tools that you need to make a project and just start making stuff. Turn any space into a shop. In a separate video that's either out now or will be out in a couple days, we're doing a tour of my metal shop and I'm just getting set up. And so that's the video I'm gonna need your help on. I don't have all the tools that I need yet, but I've got a really good set of tools.
Ultimate set of tools. I can fix it.
And that video, well, we tour what I have and the very small space that I have for that. So check that out as well. All right, Dan, what else? My buddy Matt, he came over the other day and we talked about doing a huge mural on this wall right here. And he is currently sketching up designs. I think we're gonna turn that into a video as well. It's not gonna be a tutorial. It's just mostly gonna be how an artist comes up with some of his creative ideas and then the execution of that. And that's going to add a lot of color to this shop. You thought we were wrapping up. We are not. Many people have already clicked away and they're going to miss the coolest, messiest part of my shop. This is the sliding wall. These are just pocket doors with dry erase board on them and they just run in a track up there. And so this is just all my storage. I do not know why that says FU. Maybe Dan knows. I'll ask him later. I don't like storing a lot of wood. I just like to have what I need for that particular project. But as time goes on, it starts to pile up. So I give a lot of it to my brother who's getting into woodworking and does some really cool stuff himself. But the garage door where a car would come in is actually on the other side of these racks. So yeah, just a mess. And the sliding wall is just there to hide that mess. It allows me to be as messy as I want. But what I was getting at, all these panels are going to be painted a bright color. The thought here is I need to make this space more playful, more enjoyable to be at, something that sparks ideas and ignites creativity. Dan put some explosions in right here.